Deportiva y con swing.
Deportiva y con swing.
La factoría del deporte desde New York para ti. Es una máquina.
Es una máquina
Pensada para ti.
pensada para ti.
Número uno en las redes, dale like y compartir. Con informaciones importantes siempre frescas.
Y con entrevistas que te ponen de cabeza.
Lo mejor del deporte lo encontrarás aquí.
Búscale en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Suscríbete,
Ay sí,
infórmate.
ok. Dale a la campana para que te llegue.
Jorge, describe la emoción en el dugout cuando pegaste el cuadrangular.
Bueno, la emoción fue increíble ya que el juego se puso rápidamente 1-0.
In response to describe the energy and the atmosphere in the dugout after you hit the home run, he said, you know, the energy was amazing and electric, especially after we took a 1-0 lead after a home run.
Charlie Morton prácticamente lanzó con una pierna rota. ¿Qué tan difícil fue verlo salir del juego?
Sí, fue difícil verlo salir del juego ya que él le estaban dando tratamiento y eso y viró para atrás con ese pie roto. Obviamente en ese momento no lo sabía, pero fue bastante difícil para nosotros verlo salir.
Yeah,
Ya que es el primer pitch que tenemos nosotros.
how hard was it to see Charlie Morton have to exit because of his injury? And obviously it was extremely challenging for us. You know, we saw him getting treatment, getting worked on, and then, you know, he went back out there to pitch on that broken leg. And, you know, it was really challenging and emotional for us to have to see him leave the game, you know, being our World Series opener starter.
Yeah, we'll go over here to the right. And then, we can start Emma and then you. Yeah.
For both of you, Valdez is such a big ground ball pitcher. You know, that's his bread and butter. What did you all do to prepare that you were able to, you know, not just lift the ball against him, but to, you know, go hit home runs, both of you?
You know, I think one of our game plan was try to get really good pitches to hit, and obviously he's not going to give you too many, but just try to shrink our zone, see him up, and you know, try to hit a fly ball because I mean his sinkers is so good, and his curveball is going straight down as well. So you know that was the approach.
Sí, es un pitcher que le da mucho rambó, pero el approach fue tirarle para fly.
Yeah, he's obviously a pitcher who, you know, induces a lot of ground balls, but I think our approach was the same, just try to get it up in the air and hit a fly ball.
Y los derechos especialmente usarle del medio radiciente del terreno.
Yeah, especially for the right-handed hitters, you know, if he goes middle or middle out, you know, we're, you know, trying to lift it over to the opposite side.
Standing out your right, guys.
Jorge, ¿cómo fue pegar ese jonrón después de lo que te pasó en los últimos días, ¿no? De no haber estado jugando, de no haber estado con el equipo? Me imagino que sí fueron muchas emociones. Primero ser titular, primer bat, y aparte dar el primer jonrón, dar jonrón en el primer turno.
Bueno, fue bastante emocionante, gracias, tanto para mí como para toda mi familia. Me sentí bien happy.
In response to, you know, hitting that leadoff home run, especially with everything that led up into this game, and obviously missing some of those games in the LCS, and the emotion that went along with it, and obviously it was extremely emotional for me and emotional for my family, like you said, you know, with everything lead up, and be able to lead off and be in this game.
To your left, guys. Tyler.
Guys, after you were acquired in July, obviously they had lost a big player. How much have you sort of enjoyed or thrived on that responsibility of collectively trying to do what you've done?
Well, I think, you know, when you come into a new team, obviously you want to produce, but you just want to be the player that you are. You don't want to try and do too much, and you know, to replace a guy like that, you know, you're not really going to do it. So, just coming in and being ourselves and playing our game, and you know, just the ability for us to come in and gel and mesh with the team right away was pretty cool to see because. You know, they brought us in with open arms. They you know, they were on board and accepted us from day one and made us feel very comfortable in the clubhouse and on the field, and you know, and brought us in, and you know, we felt like part of the team right away, and that was huge.
Sí, los cambiaron para acá, nos cambiaron a los cuatro y gracias a Dios hemos hecho muy buen trabajo. Al principio cuando llegué aquí se me hizo un poco difícil porque yo no hablo el inglés y me cuesta más hacer relaciones con los jugadores, pero cuando llevaba como una semana, ¿sabes? Me llevaba con ellos como si fueran hermanos míos. Tenemos tremenda química y estamos saliendo de ganar juegos.
No, it was, obviously they traded for the four of us, and I think we've all done a good job. Everyone in particular, I think for me it was a little bit challenging, especially when I got traded right away, just because of the language barrier. I don't think, I couldn't speak English very well, so I just assumed that I was going to have a hard time making those connections with some of the English-speaking players. But after a weekend, that wasn't the case. It felt like I was already here playing with my brothers, and I felt like there was like a really good chemistry within the clubhouse itself, and I feel like now our sole purpose is just to go out there and win games.
We'll stay on the left with Zach.
Yesterday we saw EY take a fungo with the entire outfield out in left field and left center, hitting fungos out different parts of the wall. And then you saw what happened tonight with Eddie. Is that just the perfect example of the little things becoming meaningful in a major situation like this?
Yeah, I'd say this is probably one of the trickiest outfields in the big leagues, just the way it bounces off these different surfaces. I mean, there's like 6 different surfaces out there, padding, fence, brick, the scoreboard, the metal in the scoreboard. And so, yeah, I mean, we tried to hit on all that and tried to, figure out where we need to be when it bounces off the wall. And, yeah, I mean, that's preparation. That's, that's the little things that, people may not see, at home, but that's part of prepping. That's part of, what we do. We try to cover all the little things, and, because little things become big things in games like this. And, that was a big play.
There's Steve on the left.
Yeah. Hey, Adam. It appears that Charlie got 3 outs with a badly damaged ankle, and including a really good sequence against Altuve. First of all, what kind of at-bats you think you would put up with a broken ankle, and just what does that performance tell you about the guy?
Man, gamer. That's the biggest. That's the one word I would describe him as. I couldn't tell from my angle. I couldn't tell how hard the ball was hit and where it hit him at. But just him coming out there. I knew it probably wasn't good because just the way he is and the way he competes, and so seeing him walk off like that, it didn't make me feel good.
Mark on the left.
For both of you guys, have you guys talked to Alex about how late or how diligent he had to be to get your deal done? He had to call Kim after midnight and Dayton at 3:30 or whatever. Have you, now that you're at this, have you ever talked to him about it? And then have you, now that you're here, do you thank him, for being so diligent?
Bueno, obviamente me siento súper agradecido de estar aquí en el equipo. Atlanta me abrió los brazos, me dio la oportunidad de jugar todos los días, y estoy bien contento con la organización, con los fanáticos que me han dado tremendo apoyo. Estoy bien happy aquí.
No, I feel extremely grateful to be here and be a member of this organization. I feel like Atlanta opened its arms to me. They traded for me and they gave me an opportunity to play every day. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm extremely grateful to the organization, to the fans who have definitely supported us, and like I said, I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, I haven't, had that conversation with Alex. I think the rumors floating around were that they didn't want to trade within the division, and that's normal for baseball. But I was sitting on the couch on the about 12:30 in the afternoon on the last day of the trade deadline, and got the call, and it took me by surprise. I wasn't at that point. I wasn't really expecting anything. I was getting ready to go into the field and play the game that day, so it took me by surprise for sure.
We'll do 2 more way in the back.
For both of you, I know it's only one win, but what can this win on the road, opening up the series, just do for your confidence and nerves moving forward?
Bueno, este juego significa mucho, ya que es el primer juego que jugamos y lo ganamos. Nos da confianza. No es que estamos confiados, pero da bastante confianza para el juego de mañana.
It means a lot, you know. It's the first game that we played, and to win it, it gives us a lot of energy and confidence moving into tomorrow's game.
Yeah, I think we obviously swung the bats there early pretty well, and doing that on the road and kind of getting them first at bat jitters out of the way is big. So obviously this is a long series. It's going to be a dogfight. So we'll enjoy this one and then get focused and ready for tomorrow.
Finish up with Jason in the middle.
Jorge, until tonight, there had never been a World Series game that started with a home run on the first swing of the World Series. When you think of all the great leadoff hitters in baseball history, how hard is it for you to believe that you became the first to do that when you just started leading off?
Bueno, como hablamos, hoy fue la primera noche que un pelotero del equipo visitante dio un home run en el primer bate. Y cuando tú piensas en todos los primeros bates de la historia de la pelota y todas las leyendas que hay ahí, de pensar que tú eres el primero que ha logrado eso y en particular pensando que no has estado bateando el primer bate tu carrera entera, solo empezaste a hacer eso recientemente.
Bueno, me siento bien contento. Yo, mi familia, el equipo realmente no sabía eso hasta ahorita que me lo dijeron. Solamente fui a hacer un buen contacto y salió home run.
No, I'm very happy, obviously. Me and my family were both very happy. To be honest, I didn't know that was a thing until I was told a little later on in the game. And for me, I wasn't thinking about anything like that. I was just trying to get into that bat and just make good contact with the ball.
No se muevan, que continuamos con la máquina deportiva.